Hello, love bugs. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get started on this topic, I just want to put kind of a disclaimer out there of sorts that I by no means am saying that this is not a serious subject, that there have been a lot of obviously negative impacts around the country, the world. There's been a lot of people that have gone through a lot. But that being said, this channel is all about positivity, positive mindset, and even when your life is in turmoil or the world is in turmoil, I am all about finding the silver lining. So on this beautiful, soulful Sunday, I wanted to get into some positive things that COVID has, at least given me. And I would love to hear from you guys some positive that it's given you, just to shed a little bit of light and spread some positivity in this world in such a weird, odd time. So comment below before we get more into this video and let me know, what is one thing that COVID has done for you that has impacted you in a positive way? So the first thing I want to talk about, I have three things for you today, and honestly I could probably say a few additional ones, but we're going to keep this short and simple, is the added time that I know I have been able to spend with my friends and my family. And I know that with talking with so many people that a lot of people really come to realize that we really are always rushing around. There's so much we have to do on a daily basis between work and kids and hobbies, and maybe if you own a business or run a business, or working out, doing errands, there's just so much going on all the time that COVID has kind of been an opportunity for us all to take a step back, spend that time with our friends and our family because we didn't really have a choice. And just really get back into kind of in the olden days where we weren't ran by social media and we weren't always off running and doing a million things. And I personally got to spend so much more time with my roommates, with the people that I live with, and connect more. I think it was like a few weeks into quarantine back in March or April. And my roommates and I all decided to order 2 games each from Amazon, and since then it's become a weekly thing that we do. We play. I'm obsessed with this game. You know what? I'm gonna show you. Monopoly Deal has become our favorite game in this household, and everyone we show it to absolutely loves it. It's a 15-20 minute game, versus the regular Monopoly game that we all know is like 5 freaking hours. And we now play this even still probably like 2 or 3 times a week. And we never did that before. We didn't have that connection at night. We'd all kind of go our separate ways and go into our own rooms. And now we're doing that. We have family dinners multiple times a week, which is also something we never really did before. We never really planned dinner before. And now it's just, we do, and it's really nice. And not only that, but think about, I don't know, what your personal experience is, but I mean, for work, we had Zoom happy hours. I was Zooming with all, kinds of groups of friends that we hadn't all been together in a long time anyway. And now we were able to kind of hop on this Zoom call, either have a happy hour or play some online games. And that has been such a beautiful thing, I think, and that's definitely one thing that I hope that a lot of us can take away from this nightmare. I mean, think about the people that you spoke with during quarantine that you wouldn't normally have because everyone was forced to do things online instead of in person. I mean, it's just amazing the more we've been able to connect with people that we wouldn't normally connect with. The second thing I want to talk about, it kind of intertwines with being home and having that more time, to yourself and with your friends and your family, but it's actually more individualized, where I know for me, I'm a very extroverted person. I love being around people. I feed off of the energy, and I just absolutely love sharing my time with other people. But that being said, I really fell in love with having my alone time, you know, during this quarantine. I started journaling and I started meditating. That's still a work in progress. And I really started to dig deep and learn about what I personally needed for self-care. I mean, there were days, for those of you that don't know my day job, I work in real estate for a real estate investing company, so I'm constantly on the road, running around. Sometimes I'll be in the car. I mean, on average, I drive about 1,000 miles a week just for work. So to be able to just take all of that driving out and be at home, I mean, I was literally able to work from my hammock. It would be a beautiful day out. I would make all my phone calls, you know, take my computer out there. I mean, I remember this one day where I was on the hammock for like 8 hours, and it was so blissful and peaceful, and I was like, man, like I could really get used to this. It's been amazing. I mean, there were times where instead of driving a 3-hour round trip to, you know, a client's house, I could just give them a call on the phone, and it would be a 15, 20, 30-minute conversation. And then I had all this extra time to go to the lake and sit by the lake, or go on a walk, or go hiking. It's just a very beautiful part where I really started to get to know myself on a much deeper level than I ever had the opportunity to before. And that's something I really hope a lot of us have been able to do, and something that I believe a lot of people have been able to do since quarantine, because we don't have anything else to do. And that can be something that's really scary if you're not ready to deal with yourself and deal with not only the positive things that go on in your mind, but also the negative ones. But what I've been finding since having this opportunity to kind of dig deep within myself is that dealing with those negative beliefs and negative emotions is really important, and if you don't deal with them and face them head on, you're never going to be able to heal from them. So I hope that a lot of you out there have taken this opportunity to get to know yourself on a deeper level, and even maybe a spiritual level. Which brings me to my third reason why COVID has been positive for me. And that's this spiritual awakening that I've been going through. I mean, I know I briefly spoke about it on my intro video on here when I rebranded this channel, and that's something I definitely will get further into. We will be talking a lot about spirituality, spiritual awakening, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think I would have been going through this, or maybe I would have, I don't know, but without having quarantine. And the thing is that the way it started, I mean, for everyone, it's something so different. I know a lot of people that start going through a spiritual awakening, it happens from some kind of traumatic event. But for me, it was talking to a client on the phone. I just had a work appointment, and she basically told me that I was what was called an empath. And for those of you that don't know what that is, most of us know what empathy is, and basically an empath is a little more, how do I explain it, kind of extreme than just having regular empathy. See, what happens is it is a scientific, it's science-based. So we have what's called mirror neurons in our brains, and what they do is they pick up on other human beings' mirror neurons, and basically we all have them, but people that are considered empaths have a much higher intensity of them, where they can, read people better. Whereas if you look at narcissists, they have a lot less of them in there, which is why they don't have a lot of empathy. So essentially what that means is that I can pick up on energies of other people. I feel what they're feeling. And basically, this woman started telling me all these things about my life. She's a psychic medium, and I was just like, holy shit, you're right. And all of a sudden, everything in my life, all these weird things that happened, all of these, since my childhood, all of these events, all of these ways I just knew people were good people or bad people, it all just made sense, and everything started making sense of who I was and who I am. And I've been very much deeply exploring that since that time, which was a little over 5 months ago. So that has, for me, been one of the biggest things. I mean, it literally changed my life. It's been changing the way I view life, and it's made me so much happier. There was a point in time during all of this where I went through what's called the dark night of the soul, and we'll definitely get into that in another video, where I was extremely depressed for about 2 months. I've never really felt a depression like that before, and it was kind of scary, but as I dove into research, I realized it was a very normal thing, and that it happens to a lot of empaths and people that are on their spiritual journeys, and it's not just a one-time thing. So not looking forward to that again. But this spiritual awakening has been such a huge blessing for me. And if any of you out there are going through one as well, I'm sure you resonate a little bit with this, because it is it is quite a journey. It is quite a roller coaster, but it is so magical at the same time. And I just feel so blessed and so guided to keep working on myself and raising my vibration. And it's been wonderful. I certainly have a long way to go with this spiritual awakening. I do believe it will be a lifelong journey, which I'm so excited for. I've found so much peace and so much inner happiness going through this that it's just exciting. Every day that I move forward, I get more and more excited. I learn more and more about myself and get more connected with myself and my higher consciousness. So I think it's just been wonderful. So I hope this video brought you guys some light in these very down and weird and negative times. And don't feel guilty for finding the positives in a negative situation, because the more that we can do that, the more we'll raise the collective consciousness of the world and of Earth, and where we can come in and be a much happier humanity. So drop in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you gone through a spiritual awakening? What have you found to be a positive outcome from COVID? And like I said, keep looking at the silver lining. Everything's going to work out. If you're struggling right now, you will make it through. We're all in this together, and you just have to have faith and hope and keep believing that everything will be okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Of course, if you found this video helpful, or maybe it made you happy, like it, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on the next Soulful Sunday. Love you.